Welcome to the sixth part of this section on teaching using humor. In this part, we'll learn about humor in multicultural environments. Because something we often underestimate is this: humor is not universal. Have you ever told a joke and no one laughed? Now imagine that happening in a classroom. Not because the joke wasn't good, but because it didn't translate. In a multilingual classroom, you are not just teaching language. You are managing cultural interpretation. What is funny in one culture may be confusing, misleading, or even offensive for people who come from other cultures. So when we use humor in multicultural groups, we are working with language, culture, and interpretation at the same time. This is especially true with sarcasm, irony, and cultural references. Different cultures use humor differently. Some things that typically vary include direct or indirect humor, use of sarcasm against literal communication, acceptability of teasing, and the role of authority in humor, whether it's the teacher or the student. If a teacher says, "Oh great, another perfect answer," in some cultures, this is clearly sarcastic. In others, it may be taken literally or perceived as criticism. Now, imagine a student thinking, was that good or bad? That uncertainty creates anxiety. As another example, if a teacher tries to let a student know their answer is incorrect by saying funnily, "Computer says no," but students have never watched Little Britain, the humor fails. And worse, students feel excluded. If you did not get the reference either, the point is proven. Humor that depends on shared knowledge excludes those who don't share it. Situational humor, based on the classroom. Language-based humor, like wordplay. Visual humor and gentle exaggeration usually work better, as they rely less on cultural background. On the other hand, sarcasm, irony, cultural references, and humor about identity tend to break down because not everyone knows what we are talking about. In diverse classrooms, clarity is more important than cleverness. Your goal is not to be funny. Your goal is to be understood. To make humor inclusive, you can use universal themes like daily life, common experiences, or language confusion. Avoid cultural assumptions. If a joke depends on background knowledge, it may fail. Check comprehension when it is not evident. Ask, does that make sense? Do you see why that's funny? Encourage student-generated humor. Students understand their own cultural context better. Humor can unify a group, but it can also divide it if only some students understand the joke. Others might feel left out, and participation will decrease. If a joke fails, do not ignore it. Briefly explain it. Turn it into a learning moment. For example, "Okay, that didn't work. Let's analyze why." Or if it is a reference to a TV sketch, like the previous "Computer says no" one, you can take some time to show the students the sketch and share some new cultural references with them. This models openness and reduces awkwardness. Inclusive humor builds connection. Exclusive humor creates distance. In multilingual classrooms, clarity is more important than cleverness. In the next part, we will see how to plan humor beforehand, intentionally. The Optimo project has been co-funded by the European Union.